Hi guys, hopefully I'm live. Hold on, let me pull it up. Let me see. I'm not gonna lie, I'm like a little verklempt right now. Okay, yep, there we go. Alright, hi guys. I'm just gonna wait for some people to come in. In case you guys didn't hear, I guess Case by Case put out Roblox in its entirety, and I'm not gonna lie, I'm still kind of shaking a little bit. Hi guys. Hi Deb. Hi Angel Eyes. Hi Lisa. Hi Goddess. Yeah, sorry I had to get changed out of my sweaty clothes and stuff, but yeah, so somebody let me know that I guess I'm gonna try to do this without crying. So last year, so last year I put out the Roblox video, and hi Kali Yuga. Hopefully you guys can hear me okay. My voice is kind of in and out. It's been a very allergy high day. But last year, okay. So when I put out the Roblox last year, I just played through the point where the girls were getting confronted by Bridge Guy. And I also was willing to email the link to anyone who wanted to watch it. And then the next day or the day after, I got doxed on X. My address, my phone number, my family, eventually my livelihood, and then it got turned into the hi Sam. Eventually it got turned into the National Center for Exploited and Missing Children for having child sexual abuse material, because they were saying that that's what the Roblox was. And it was not until August that I had the police come to my door and basically it would have been a full-out attempt at a swatting if I hadn't been so proactive with my police, letting them know about all the harassment that I was getting. Luckily, also, I'm a female. So, yeah, then the NCMEC. And it was pretty bad. Last year, people claimed I was bullying Laura, who was on the pro-guilt side, for saying, Laura, you have the Roblox. You should give it up to people so that they can see the type of coordination and sickness that people will go to. Hi, Emerald. Hi. And yeah, so I'm ultimately glad that Amy has it posted and has it up and it's full. It's a full iteration. Don't mind my cat. Sorry. Because people do need to see like how messed up it is. And thank you for getting rid of them. Thank you guys. So I didn't realize how like much this was going to affect me. Also too, because I remember when I got doxxed, I came out to the community and I was like, hey, aren't you guys gonna like disavow doxing? Aren't you going to like say that it's not cool to do that shit? When it was like one of their close buddies that was doing it. And ultimately no one was willing to, you know? So but you know, I'm glad that it's out because that's what it needed to be out. That's why I put it out and I talked about it and I said, you know, I told Laura when I was getting bullied by her hench dog, Jamie Hicks. Oh, come here. Come here. You want to come say hi? Sorry, guys. I just need to regroup. Come here. Come here. Come on. So, basically, like, I had started talking about Kathy Allen and Uniparty in early April of last year. Loopy, stop. Of last year. And I started getting really attacked by Jamie over a personal issue. But then she was saying that I was like attacking Laura. For those of you who don't know, Laura dated Greeno. You know, she is close with the Patties, with Susan Hendricks, with Tara German, and a lot of those people. And so, but Jamie was saying that I was going after her. And I just said simply, Laura, like, I know you have the Roblox, so you need to release it. So a short time later, like probably a week or two later, and I can show you guys the receipts too, but a short time later, I made a video about how people knew who Dawn was. Dawn was the person saying Ari's initials, and then saying that after he was arrested, that those initials she meant to be Richard Allen. Dawn also had a lot of connections with a lot of the people on the case. She was a Facebook admin for a Facebook group that I think had been around since the beginning of the girls' murders. and the investigation into it. And so I started talking about Uniparty. I started talking about how everybody knew everybody. Behind the scenes, they were in the same discords. They had been on the case since the beginning. Like, everybody knew everybody. And, you know, then I got attacked for asking why people were going after Kathy Allen. Yeah, hi, Monday. Hi, guys. And, you know, I ended up, like, feeling vindicated by that because Kathy didn't go with the people who were haranguing her into wanting to, like, I guess, have access to her and Richard or Rick and Discovery and whatnot. And those are some of the same people still on the case today. So I talked about people knowing Dawn on both sides, on both the guilt side and the pro Rick Allen side. Oh, it's okay. It's okay, Rock Crusher. It was a shock. It was a shock, you know. Because, like, I really hope Amy doesn't get, case by case, doesn't get the level of harassment that I got. Getting doxed. And then, you know, having the police sent to my house. So, like, I don't wish that on anyone, actually. After everything that I've been put through. So, sorry guys. I probably should have waited like a little bit longer to come live, but I was just so shocked. And yeah, you know, I can show you some of those receipts. Let me see. Cause like where do I begin? I talked about Uniparty early last year. Well, early April last year. And then it escalated to Contract Gate. That's when the meme girls' lives were made. I was basically accused of like using my feminine wiles to like get Alex and Prof to say the stuff that I wanted them to say. That I was crazy. You know, that like a lot of stuff, like I could walk you through the misogyny presentation that I did in November, which was just an amalgamation of all those receipts, you know. So yeah, maybe I should just do that, you know. Because let me do this. Let me. Loopy, you gotta be quiet, buddy. I know, but you gotta be quiet. So, let me see. Okay, so if we go to here, let me see. I just need to make sure I'm like actually on the thing. So if we go to lives, And which one was it? It was this one. So this was June 25th, 2025. Okay. Let me make sure I can still see that. Yeah. So June 25th, 2025. That I actually talked about the Roblox and put it out. Let me see. So, yeah. This was basically like, I had just talked about how the Roblox video should have been made available to the public a long time ago. I felt like the making of this video showed, it demonstrated extreme insensitivity, borderline callousness, disguised as obvious faux sentimentality. Whoever made this video, they're more than likely individuals with sadistic qualities. It also shows a degree of deliberation. More than likely, several people were needed to make this video, taking time and coordination. If we knew who made the video and when, I think it was made in late 2021 to early 2022 now. We might have more clues leading us back to the actual individuals involved in Abby and Libby's murders. And the conspiracy is that many people capitalized off of Abby and Libby's deaths, and many people worked to cover up their murders, which I still do believe. So basically, like, this was a distraction. All of this was a distraction. Okay. I'm sharing. So yeah, so that happened. And hi Critter, who made the video? Well, so as far as I can tell, I don't know for sure, but I can say certainly who I think it is. But let me give him some dry food, hopefully to hold him over before I go much deeper, because I'm already discombobulated and it's gonna make it weirder. So give me 1 second, guys. Okay, hopefully that ties him over. Yeah, he is a very, very vocal kitty. That's for sure. So, let me see how I can share this better. I have that up, and then I'm just gonna pause that. And then I need to find the different stuff that I have on it. Desktop. Seats. So I have so let's see. Yeah. Okay. Sorry, guys. Yeah, he's always hungry. He's always hungry. Gotta take some allergy medicine too. Sorry. So, again, like, I'm not here to hate on Amy or anything. But I did get a ton of harassment for even talking about it. And the Roblox video, which I should say, for people not well aware of the Roblox video, it was basically created probably in late 2021, early 2022. There was a lot of work that went into it. It showed the hi Shay, hi, haven't seen you in a while too. It's good to see you. So I'm stuck on Ned Smith and Friends. Yeah, there's always something to be stuck on. So what am I trying to say? So I'm trying to say that, like, don't mind the mess in the background either. The Roblox showed the reenactment of the fairy tale true crime story, like the girls getting dropped off by Kelsey, then making their way down the trails and doing girl talk of like, oh, I think so-and-so's cute. So do I. I think this guy's cute. And then with very tongue-in-cheek kind of like commentary of like, oh, you know, we're not supposed to be talking with people on the internet because it's all like spooky and stuff, and but those adults, they don't know any better kind of thing. It was just very thanks, Critter. Thank you. Yeah, it was very like just done in very poor taste, in my opinion, especially using the Roblox, the largest gaming platform for kids. And like, the more I think about it, the more I really wonder what that even was about. And what I kind of came to understand was that I think it is basically a distraction to redirect back to the crime being a lone wolf crime, because the Anthony Shots presser had recently come out December 6th and 7th of 2021. So they needed, the nebulous they, I think Roblox was used, it could have been used as edgelord behavior, like trying to be the most, I don't even know what you call that, brazen or like flamboyant with like just being shitty, I guess. I don't even know. But I think it was meant to really put emphasis back on there being a lone wolf person, okay? Now, my stuff goes back further because I am still of the belief that I think as of 2019, with the one-of-one print job that Amy G found by Kathy Shank, who was Unified Command Secretary at the time, all the way up to 2022, I don't understand that. Okay, so basically, like, yeah, Cindiana. Yep, there you go. I like that a lot, actually. So I think people put it out as a distraction to keep people preoccupied with what they wanted them to be preoccupied with. So, oh, and that's in, okay, that's in Firefox, that's why. So basically, like, Prof does do a very good Substack article on it. I will say that. If you guys want to go and watch, like, kind of the evolution of it, because if we're looking back on it, there was this. That's lovely. Let's go back. There was actually, it wasn't in live. Where was it? It was shorts we were talking about. So that, gatekeepers. Yeah, gatekeepers happened. I think it was before that. Or was it videos? Oh, yeah. Okay, so this was the stuff that I got from Jamie Hicks and Laura. And I think that was April 10th, I want to say. And they came for me because of kind of drama and stuff, but also, like, that was part of the excuse that they used to like attack me and say later on that I was like trying to get them to like give up the Roblox, and I was threatening them. But when I go to, where would it be? It wasn't in community posts, it was videos, harassment. So projection rejection was a short time later. All of these videos were created by Peggy O to harass me and intimidate me. But this was a live that she did with Jamie Hicks. And I'm not going to actually like play it because I don't want to get copyright struck for it, even though it's no longer up. But it was in this live stream, April 21st, 2025, that Jinx, who was a moderator in Peggy O's chat, released the Roblox video for the first time. And with Peggy O, with Jamie Hicks, and with Jinx, they were all trying to make it look like I had harassed Laura so much that they were forced to put out the Roblox video, which came in through Jinx as a moderator, leaving a link to the streamable link. So, and she played it very like, oh, I don't know why everybody's so upset about this, because like you can just go look it up. So it came in through Peggy O's channel, all right? And then, yeah, so that's a long rabbit hole, right? Let me go back to, where did I pull it up? Did I pull it up? Is it here? No, it's in Firefox. Okay. So that's why, because I pulled it up twice. Okay, that makes sense now. So basically, right. Okay, so this was when I was doxxed. This was the day, it was 2 days after the Voorhies Roblox video that I showed you guys, right? Yeah. Yeah. Thank you guys. Yeah, it was pretty bad, Critter. Like she and HCC came for me again in January 2026. I hope I have that. Let me see. But yeah, she put out 11 different videos. She even made a music video on me, talking about how insane I was. Let's see. So I don't know if I have it right now, but basically HCC was threatening to do a live on me. And it was like the path to enlightenment or something like that. Let me see. Yeah. If you guys don't know, Peggy O is also a vicarious vigilante. She also did like the death threats, even though she can say that they are, you know, these people can use plausible deniability to say that, like, you know, oh, that I'm just taking it to, I'm just being a baby about it. Loopy. So that's Peggy not giving a fuck and Jinx laughing. Yeah. So basically, like, she was also the one, I mean, she doxed my livelihood along with HCC. She was the one that gave the doxing information to HCC, actually. So I don't know if I can find it right now. There's just so much of it. I'll have to stop sharing screen because I don't want to pull up, because I actually did find all of her records and, you know, turn that into the police. Like I have, yeah, I have like all of her information, all of HCC's information. That was the most recent police report that I turned into my law enforcement. I've shared it with some people. And so, you know, I realized that she and Prof had the same person suing them. And that's why Prof ended up, you know, talking with her behind the scenes. But I had told him much earlier in the year, like, hey, you know, if you ever decide to, like, you know, collaborate with her, I'm out, because I don't engage with stalkers and harassers. And she is single-handedly, besides HCC, been my biggest stalker and harasser. And again, like, if you guys want to go see the misogyny presentation, she's in a lot of that. So, yeah. Thank you, Goddess. Thank you, guys. I really appreciate it. Like, I wasn't trying to make it about drama or anything, but that's why I've never really felt safe in this space, because, like, the real reason that she came after me, and I can pull that up and talk about it. And I'll get to Roblox. It's just such, like, I'm so muddled right now, but let me see. Yeah. So let me share screen again. I'm just gonna share the entire screen. So this was the post that I did on the anniversary, the 9th anniversary of Abby and Libby's murders. Make this a little bigger. So I said, rest in peace, Abby Williams and Libby German. You both deserved a long, beautiful, happy life. I've left up the relevant body of work and community posts to show that it was evident that Rick was framed. Amy G, again, has recently uncovered another piece of evidence corroborating Rick's framing, the one-of-one print job by Kathy Shank in late October 2019. This is very convoluted with lots of players. Alex had a collection of these receipts of people who admittedly worked on the dark web. He literally helped track down others involved in the Anthony Shots Dropbox. The reason HCC said that he doxed me and Alex was because he said that we had doxed him in the Alex's Delphi and Stevenson's crime archive, which he had turned in HCC to police, and it did have his address and I think his phone number. But fewer people were, of course, going to download that file, the archive, as opposed to people, getting it off of X. And then continuing, like I had even Osbrook making fun of my livelihood on Etsy, like making Twitter posts about it and stuff. So, yeah, she did. Yep. That's okay, guys. Thank you. But and it was a hard thing. All right. But so I left something up for people to read, about why I was leaving. And it is kind of difficult to find, so you do have to go digging for it. But I said, I truly believe that the good people of the community have gotten the case where it is today. I hope that very soon Rick can be reunited with his family. Delphi is a cover-up and has overarching connections to child predation and exploitation. For what it's worth, Voorhies understood this before all of us. He actually helped to track down individuals connected to the Anthony Shots account. He understood the magnitude of the situation, the coordination, manipulation, and the patterns associated with very specific maneuvers. I am grateful to have had his mentorship and camaraderie for the time I did. Honestly, I should have left when he did, but I felt loyalty to a certain creator who repeatedly misused my trust. This creator had the right message, but needed constant validation and regulation, and greatly benefited from my female insights. I did not always agree with their methods for approaching the case, but I found myself running consistent backup. But by September, October of 2025, that creator had hijacked my traumatic event, the attempted swatting. So they had hijacked my traumatic event as their own and further used it as content for their platforms. And that really should have been the deal breaker. But the harassment continued, and other creators were getting slammed for doing genuinely good work. And by that, I mean like Amy G was getting very slammed at that time. Christina was starting to get pretty slammed at that time. So my nervous system had been reprogrammed by that point to automatically armor up. Hi, guys. Who wrote what, Mandy? Hi, it's a new day. It's okay, guys. I will say my hair started falling out in clumps like around Christmas time. And I guess it was the delayed response to what had been happening, but I guess that's a very common thing. Luckily, it's coming back with a vengeance. I'm grateful that, my dad has werewolf genes or something. So that's a joke, by the way. So, hi, Nancy. I'm reading my community post, Mandy, on, I actually put it out on the 9th anniversary of Abby and Libby's murders in February, a couple months ago, and I'm explaining now. I left a pinned message on why, why I was basically going to leave Delphi. So basically, I did what I could to back up those getting the brunt of the attacks. I didn't have the right to tell their story, but I had the receipts to tell my own. I made the misogyny presentation in early November 2025. By then, the cranks, the mean girls, the pro Rick Allen peoples, whatever we're calling them, my primary harassers had executed a blackout order, and I felt like I could finally rest. Plus, I think everybody just wanted to have some downtime for the holiday season, thank God. But then True Crime Design gave this channel a giant boost, which propelled me over 1,000 subs, which was such a blessing, but also a bit of a quagmire. I was winding down, and all of a sudden there was this boost of pressure to stay. Ultimately, I am forever grateful to her and her viewers' support. Being seen and heard is truly life-saving, especially after months of being degraded intellectually, sexually, and in general having my sense of safety perpetually compromised. So going back to this main creator, still this main creator used me for constant brainstorming, validation, and regulation. And more of my talking points became theirs in their live streams, and they weren't above emotional appeals either, which that's a long story. But anyway, so by mid-January, a heavy hitter was returned to the community. That heavy hitter was Noe. The PIs were coming out and making content. I felt like I was allowed to rest. But then randomly, HCC threatened to make a live on me, highlighting the state of Arizona and naming the live A Path of Enlightenment. He had already doxed me and my livelihood, and I didn't know what else he could do but potentially dox my family. My family, particularly my father, who is an attorney, he's a retired attorney, but my father encouraged me to make another police report. Meanwhile, the creator I readily gave much of my time and insights to all of a sudden couldn't be bothered to provide any solace while I was getting this harassment, and I chalked it up to them being in a mood, which was, would have been par for the course. But then I received screenshots, although from an imperfect source, but these receipts explicitly showed the deliberate coordinated efforts by Peggy O and HCC to dox me. In early June 2025, Peggy had acquired my personal information, which she then gave to HCC in a Discord/server chat. HCC used her information to dox me on X in late June 2025, 2 days after I did the live on the Roblox, giving out the link to people so that they could watch it. So by late January 2026, I now had these receipts and Peggy O's, or Vicarious Vigilante's, real name. I wrote up a report and handed it to my police department. For what it's worth, the real people behind the accounts, HCC and Peggy O, have now been documented in our police report showing the receipts and patterns of how they stalked, threatened, harassed, and intimidated me. HCC later pivoted and made the AZ live stream about Jodi Arias. I then made several community posts showing what I had turned into my police. If HCC doxed my family, he was already in the system. And those community posts also shows Peggy's involvement. So in Retaliation, she made a full live stream called Illinois the Prequel. The thumbnail showed a push pin over Peoria, Illinois, where I'm originally from and where my parents live most of the year. This is just basic intimidation, all right? So the content creator, I believe to have been an ally for well over a year by that point, blew me off saying I was too worried about old shit when I told him about Peggy O's harassment. I'd learned later that Peggy O had been talking with this ally due to a mutual predicament they found themselves in. Separate lawsuits filed against each of them by the same person, Bossy. All right. Worse, Peggy started showing up in the live stream and chats of the ally, places that had been safe spaces for me and much of my overlapping community. When I asked why she was there, she redirected it back onto me, asking why I had to make everything about myself and to think of Abby and Libby. My stalker was now in a space that I helped to build and make safe and open for the good faith members of the broader community, and she was attacking me there, the woman who hunted down my personal information, some of my family's personal information, and gave it to HCC to blast on his larger X platform. She also then made multiple shorts, videos, and live streams on me, bashing me for saying dangerous things about her, which were outright lies. She was now harassing me in a place that was no longer safe. She also made a ton of community posts too. So for context on why Peggy O hates me so much, and I'm just telling you this broader story so that when things try to get convoluted later, and I know that things can get made convoluted later, and worked any which way, and it'll be up to you guys to decide what you decide to believe, right? That at least I'm giving you my side of the story of what happened, okay? So for context, back in autumn 2024, a former friend of mine, Mar R, I'm sure you've all seen her, called Peggy O Dr. Walla, I guess on account of their similar appearance. I don't know if that's the reason why or not, but Mar and Peggy were beefing due to Mar getting stalked by Peggy and another instigator in Delphi chats. That's what she told me, okay? That's what she told me and Voorhies at the time. And Voorhies was actually able to get some people to stop stalking her as much too. So, in a live stream around or during Rick Allen's trial, someone had asked who Mar was referring to as Dr. Walla. I said that Mar was referring to Peggy O as Walla. But in a fast-moving chat, I replied, Peggy O is Walla. Peggy took that opportunity to grab screenshots of just my replies in that chat to show how I had harassed her using dangerous tactics by calling her Dr. Walla. She claimed I put her life at risk and further took the opportunity to bash me with Tommy Frost and Jinx 13 in a public Discord. This was the day of the verdict, actually, in the 11th of November 2024. So along with Frosty and Jinx in a public Discord, saying she was going to sue the fuck out of me if there was anything left from my divorce, implying that I was in the wrong and soon to be destitute. But she wanted to sue me for the harm I had caused by inadvertently calling her Walla one time in that chat. But she never threatened Mar with a lawsuit or maliciously stalked and defamed her. But because of that one mistake, Peggy used it as ammunition to stalk, threaten, and harass me for close to a year. Further, it was during that time period that I had a very close encounter with a dangerous situation, okay, that I ended up having to seek treatment for, which then became a running joke for a lot of people. And the person, the ally, had known the reason why I had been, I had to get treatment. And it was, a lot of that was because of what happened during that Discord, swarming or whatever we're calling it, right? So hence, one manufactured slight turned into a campaign to silence me by any means necessary. Peggy repeatedly pathologized me as someone experiencing psychotic or sociopathic tendencies because I asked questions about the Uniparty and believed that people in the online community helped to frame Rick Allen. And I still do believe that. The same woman who had used memes to death threaten found pics of my ex-husband, my home, and my livelihood, which she incorporated into her content, even making full music videos on me. And she was now cozying up in a space that had been my only sanctuary in the constantly narrowing community, in the very sanctuary I had helped to create. Loopy. So this content creator, well, they have done good work for the case. The ally, stop. The ally has done good work for the case. They've been a terrible friend. Ultimately, I stayed in Delphi longer than I should have, mostly because I thought I was contributing to the overall message that would help get justice for Abby, Libby, and Rick. I thought I was helping to bring light to the very real and disgusting issue of child predation and exploitation. I was the one who distinctly told this creator that everything came back to the Dropbox, even when they wanted to attribute that fresh batch of New Year harassment to the appellate brief. I said, no, I think it has to do with the KK and TK connection, because it was, the Peru people who were coming out of the woodwork. Turbo had come for me through my Etsy to tell me to tell that creator to lay off, whatever. Anyway, so I told him, hopefully this thing isn't glitching out. Sorry if it is, guys. Sometimes the camera glitches. So I said, look at the Anthony Shots tip that came in March 2022, the tip that likely got Sharon Chapel killed. Look at how nervous local Indiana LE were getting. It was like their troll CIs were compromising them or something. So anyway, Delphi's not safe anymore. I invested in people I considered decent. It didn't pan out. I honestly don't want to waste any more of my life giving to the morally inept. Again, the message is good, but people who discard their loyal friends are ultimately not trustworthy. So all of this. And I was the person that made sure it got to Prof too, the Roblox video, by the way. So yeah, that's basically like that whole thing behind it, because when we're going back, how do I move? When we're going back, yeah, I'm sorry, guys. Oh, I love you too. It's a new day. Thank you, guys. Hi, artist. Hi, guys. Sorry, guys. Sorry I didn't see you come in. Yeah. Mar R. Yep. She was my friend. Is Alex related to Riley? No. Nope. Yeah, so that happened. And like I said, people will try. Oh, okay, that's why it's all right. I'm gonna try to like not move too much, although it's gonna be tricky. Yeah, like I'm trying to think of how to say this. So I went over the unified or the uniparty. Sorry, guys. I went over uniparty with you guys and like how and this was last year. I put out a post early April on it, on like all these people know each other, right? That was part of the reason that I started to get the harassment, because we were putting two and two together that the person who knew Rick Allen's initials in January, well, said they were Rick Allen's initials, but said that they knew the person of interest initials in January 2020. And that person, Dawn, who was the Facebook admin, she later came out and said that those initials that she posted in January 2020, the RA initials, she meant them as Richard Allen's initials. Now you're going to hear a lot of people say, no, it's meant to be Rod Abrams, it's whatever. Whatever you guys think, she later came out the week after his formal arrest and said that she meant the RA initials to be for Richard Allen, okay? So woman could be a liar, right? Because she ended up lying during a Captain Howdy live. I think one of his last lives that he ever did, which was in January 13th, 2024. She said she went to the police with that tip, and that's why Richard Allen was arrested. No, she never went to the police with Richard Allen as a tip, because Christine and Erica have been through every single tip that ever came into the tip line, and they never saw that. Okay. So, but there were a whole bunch of shady movements that were happening around, well, that had been happening around that time, if we're being honest. Like, yeah. Another RA besides Rod Abrams. That's cool too. And, it could be whatever, but like, because of the Richard that shows up in the 4chan, the Richard suspect that shows up in the Wikipedia right after that, it makes me inclined to think that these people who were chronically online and chronic edgelords were putting out breadcrumbs or Easter eggs, trying to get out this signal message. Because if you look at the 2019 timeline, like, you have Shank printing out the one-of-one receipt of Richard Allen Whiteman. That's October 29th, 2019. then not much of anything happens that I can remember. But right after that, going into January, right after the holiday season, January 2020, I think it's the 19th of January, Dawn, who has one of the longest running and largest Delphi Facebook groups as the admin, puts out her initials of her person of interest being RA. About a month later, in I think it's February 23rd, 2020, you have somebody on 4chan bringing up the name Richard twice, okay? And then a month after that, I think in mid-March 2020, right before the country shuts down due to Corona, you have an edit happening, and Cryptics pointed this out too, I think, at the time. But you have an edit to the Delphi Murders Wikipedia page in March 2020 suggesting a suspect named Richard, okay? So time moves forward, it's moving forward, it's moving forward. So you're getting like resignation of Fouts in in the summer of 2020. You're getting the arrest of Keegan Kline in August 2020. Then you're waiting, about a year and a half for somebody to put out, who they could match as a patsy. I agree with that. It's a new day. Giving out clues as to who they thought they could match as a patsy. And I always thought it would have to be a male. It would have to be somebody there, right? And then it would have to be maybe somebody with a matching firearm, right? So the issue becomes like they were retrofitting, right? Like I love how Skip calls it retrofitting because they were. And Steve Mullins, that's another thing, Mandy. They move those guys around really stealthily for different reasons. And I think it's because they all have different specialties and access to things. So anyway, let me try to get back on track because there's the famous, let me pull it up now. Oh, did I get rid of it? Did I get rid of it? No, I didn't. Okay. Because there's the famous, let me find is it? Or when is it? Oh, yeah. Okay. So this is, actually, I'm going to have to get a different picture of it. Hold on, guys. Sorry. Lippy, you're okay. Shh. Come here. Let's see if we can find this, Mr. Loopy. We'll go. Where's this? No, it was no. Hold on. All right, go then. So here we go, guys. So let me do. This with this. Yeah. So I just redacted everybody. Lippy, this angel is. That's cute. So basically, I redacted everybody's face, but I'm sure you guys are well aware of who everyone is in this. I just gave them Roblox faces, but so we had that one guy Then we have the guy that harassed the shit out of me along with Peggy O. Then we have the guy who killed his significant other by shooting her 6 times in the face and then shot himself in the chest February 15th, 2025. Then we have one of the leakers over here with his girlfriend at the time, who both got, I guess, counseling in North Carolina by another content creator who happened to create her YouTube channel also in December 2021 after the Anthony Shots account was created. And then, of course, we have the mercenary, who I don't like saying his name because it scares the shit out of me. I don't want him coming to my house. So there we go. All of those guys, you know who they are and what they get up to. So nice crowd, I know. So basically, I think this was sometime in the autumn of 2021 when they were all getting together. And that's possibly the time period that the Roblox is getting made. Now, this guy, Mr. Harassment, he is very close friends with Dawn. Dawn does live in Michigan, but a lot of her family members actually went to the University of Purdue and still live in and around the area, or did, at least up until this point, right? So I'm not going to go all into it because you guys can go into the Gatekeepers of Deception if you want to see like that full trajectory of what I talk about with that. But like Dawn's daughter happens to have a name that ends up in, being one of the people in the Roblox video, Madison, right? So Madison, or 1920s flapper girl, or 1925 flappers girl, she lives a lot of like F. Scott Fitzgerald. What's that thing called? Great Gatsby. Yeah. Loves the Great Gatsby iconography, by the way. So it's interesting. And, apparently Roblox, all that kind of stuff would be very like normal for somebody coming up in her age range, right? Considering that she was underage around the time that her mom first got on the case. Her mom's getting accused of thank you, pertinent. Her mom's getting accused of catfishing with her photos when she's a minor off of Instagram. That's also in the Gatekeepers of Deception presentation. So, but that's an accusation that's leveled against her for whatever reason. I don't know if any of that's true, but it's a play on words. The 19 to 20 year old is akin to 1920s flapper girl, right? So by that time, by 1920s, when you're 19 or 20, you are no longer a minor. So that's at least good, right? But whatever the case is, you see at the end of the Roblox video, which Amy happens to have up in its full form, which makes me want to post it now too and see who comes after who. Because it's funny that I got so harassed for talking about it and putting it out for people last year in June, that it's if I put it out in its full form, will I get people coming to my house? Will I get the police coming to my house to, now they know not to swat me, right? They know not to swat me because I have reported every instance of everything that's come in, right? Regardless of whether or not they've wanted to believe me or make a report on it, I've actually reported everything. So, the point is that Rokita is pursuing a suit against Roblox and Discord. Okay. We'll see if he's worth anything, Matt. But good to see you. So anyway, long story short is that I think that some of these people had something to do with the making of the Roblox. Now, because I did that, because I thought that, I was attacked a lot. Like I was literally doxxed on X, and tormented for a long period of time, particularly by Peggy O, and then then I was reported to the National Center for Missing and Exploited Children, and was basically like would have been swatted had I not, detailed everything. Now, I was under the impression that when I was sent a package to my house, a literal, it's like fake shit. It's based out of Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, I believe. Also, like when I talked about that, people tried to disclaim it. It was Peggy O, All Lies, and Mark Robert Cohen, or Mark Roberts Cohen, excuse me, on a Peggy O live saying that I had made it up and printed out the packaging to say that like because I printed it out off of my Etsy site and had sent it to my own home. Right. That's what they were trying to assert, that I had done that to myself. Yeah, like these people, they don't care. They don't care about you. They don't like, they would be happy to see like catastrophe befall other people. Seriously, like I remember All Eyes laughing at me when I said that when both HCC and Peggy were making death threats the night I was going live with Brad Blankenship, who was talking about how the Fraternal Order of Police in Northern Kentucky were helping to cover up some pretty bad crimes, talking about like the extortion and sex trafficking ring by Judge Tim Nolan, and his lawyer Robert Poole. That was the evening that HCC decided to attack me with the meme death threat. Same with Peggy O. I had to postpone it an hour because I was shook that people in the community would do that. And then when I was like, when I was obviously upset about it, All Eyes was the one who was saying, Jojo, it's not your fault. It's not your fault. I swear to God, it's not your fault. I fucking love you. You're wonderful. I was gonna do it anyway. I just totally me. I fucking forget everything, guys. Like, you kind of have to tell me things 10 times. Osberg is from Pennsylvania. That's interesting. I think Angie's daddy is from there too. So, it's just interesting. Anyway, not that even fucking matters. Kohlberger was from there, and I don't even want to go down to Idaho. So anyway, but this is what happens when you have ADD and it's worn off throughout the day. But yes, basically, they were trying to all laugh at me and say, oh, memes aren't threats and all this stuff. And then they used it to make the meme girl lives, where then they also said that I had a stupidity STI from Voorhies, and that I was just using my feminine wiles to get all these men like caught up and like into conspiracies and shit, when I was like, that was the most chill out of everybody. Basically trying to keep a level head on everything, and still try to. Has some curious older cases, I believe. So hi Dom, hi, it's good to see you. So yeah, so anyway, it's not your fault, Jojo. Like, Roblox needed to be talked about, and I got a lot of harassment even before I started talking about it, and whatnot. So it's what it is, But part of me is tempted to see if I put Roblox out in its full form, like Amy from Case by Case has done, who gets taken down, who gets copyright struck, who gets like a privacy complaint, etc., because I don't know. Like, I would say to Amy, just be careful. You might have, you might be reported to the NCMEC, you know, crime, or the ICAC, the Internet Crimes Against Children, or you might have police sent to your house. But, you know, if you also have worked with police in the past, it might not be that big of a deal. So you might be good. You might be fine. I'm just saying. Yeah, you know, like, so I'm like very surprised that I'm like as in good of mental health and shape that I am, all things considered, that I went through there. I went through so much of that. It's not your fault at all. It's not your fault at all, Jojo. I was going to remember eventually, right? Never trust the police. Yeah. I don't know. At some point I can't trust anybody, so it's like, it is what it is. So anyway, you know, and then all of the stuff that they did to me that I can show that actually did happen, just have to be smarter than them. Yeah. From the BBC, the reporting from the BBC in the Roblox video, right. Well, because we know now that, you know, there's a certain British bloke who is one of the top moderators of Delphi Docs, right? Has been for a long time, and, you know, pretends not to be. But he also did Meme Girls, and I think also behind the scenes he was talking with Jinx around that time too. They were collaborating on some things. They were coming for Noe and stuff too. Yeah, it was a horrible way to live, Critter. It was. It really was. Like, you know, apart from that scare in November 2024, yeah, it was rough. It was very rough. So, but yeah, I'm trying to think, like, I can walk you through why I think these people are connected to the Roblox. I know HCC did a really good series, which he recorded back in December 2020. Was it December 2020? Let me pull it up. March 27th. Originally shot in December 2020. Okay, so let me show you that. How do I stop share? Percent. No. I'm going to do... No. Okay, I'm just going to do entire screen because I don't know how to... Just gets... My brain cells don't work after a while. This. Okay, hopefully you guys can see my cursor moving. Let me see. Come on. Yeah, you can. Okay. So let me see if I can zoom this in. So this is the footage that HCC did. Also, Devil Top Yard is Peggy, I believe, who was in communication with HCC as of 2 years ago. So it was probably more like 3 years ago. So maybe sometime back in 2023 or 2022. I don't know. But so HCC goes and does like a really good 3-video boots on the ground, Delphi Murders, Boots on the Ground, Part 1, Part 2, Part 3. He released them on March 27th, 2020, or re-released them or something. I don't know. But anyway, so he had shot all this footage December of 2020. And it's very detailed. And it would be, you know, this is just my speculation, but it would be interesting that, you know, if he actually did make something, helped make something Roblox related, because he knew the terrain so well, right? So anyway, he gets accused of making the Roblox video, which he tells on himself about on X, by the way. where he says, this is from April 24th, 2022. If you guys want the full receipts, let me know. I actually have them unredacted. But somebody accuses him and says, take your stupid turn. And it's supposed to probably be cartoon, okay? Referring to the Roblox video. Take your stupid cartoon, turn off the Abby and Libby page. Off the Abby and Libby page. Yeah, I'm sure that at least 3 of your friends encouraged you and told you it was good. It is not. It is an insult to everything that has happened in the last 5 years. Take it down, and you're a creep for putting it on there. And then he comes back and says, what are you talking about? So someone had to build the Roblox reenactment terrain. The video was released in late 21, early 2022, potentially to combat the resurfacing suspicions of an online grooming network with the Anthony Shots press release in December 2021. Okay, so he has an obsession with footage and of the trails. I can't prove anything, right? But I'm just saying. Oh, and also individuals with skills in digital manipulation includes the creator of the Rick Allen Justice website, Mr. Robots 213. Now, Prof hasn't released that yet, but that's a bit of juicy information that he found on, I think, Luke Cohen, off of Luke Cohen's GitHub. So if anybody's interested in that, that might be worth looking into. I'm not sure when he came up with that name, Mr. Robots 213, but you know, it's still interesting in my opinion. So these individuals are skilled in creating or altering digital content, systems access, data exploitation, video production, and editing. Because here's HCC in August 2025 at the Black Hat USA convention in Las Vegas. Also then telling on himself and flaunting it, right? So this is just that. This is like edgelord behavior. Edgelord is just when you try to be the most obnoxious, flamboyant, crazy ass person ever, right? And okay, well, Corvette Camping, are you related to HCC? Because that's interesting. Hi, Nicole. Hi, guys. So there's a lot of Luke Cohens. There are. That's right. Yep, plenty of them. So I don't really know who I'm talking about. It could be the one that's related to the Delphi Docs, though, the dickery who likes to play with all the little asides to fish. So no, I don't know who that is. Okay, cool. Well, how long have you been around? Let's see. Have you been around Corvette Camping? Joined 4 years ago. All right, you can stay. Oh, that's cool. That's nice. Hi, Mustang. That's cool. So, yeah, anything else you guys want me to talk about? Because I can. I guess I could go through like everything that I thought HCC got up to, actually. But you know, that's all in the which one is it? It's the, let me do, no, we'll do, where was it? It was videos, right? It was videos. No, just go to the actual, there we go, videos. So this, yeah, this will walk you through everything. I call him 833. He's into codes and all sort of that stupid shit. He does think he's one of the smartest. I do believe him, along with Matt Sullivan, were the leakers who befriended what's his face, Thomas, in probably 2021. I know that like the leak her starts coming out in February 2021. They start having inside information that's very similar to what somebody in law enforcement would be talking about, and the disgruntledness. And that person was likely so Mike Thomas was the disgruntled person probably giving information to the leakers. Leakers were probably a combo of Matt Sullivan and HCC. And Matt Sullivan likely ran into Angela Sadlowski when she lived in North Carolina. And Tobor told Prof that Angela had been a counselor to either Matt Sullivan and or his girlfriend Kate at the time. So just saying that Angela then had an in probably with Matt Sullivan and Mike Thomas and Lee Kurz, those guys. Like, again, it pretty much fits with HCC's personality at this point because he thinks he's so funny and like tongue-in-cheek. Has anyone done a deep dive of McClelland? Anyway, so like, and of course then you have people in a Discord at the time, I think it was 2023, that were saying that they were disseminating images of Angela inappropriately, and saying that those pictures had been exchanged with Mike Thomas. And that person was Bella in particular, Bella and Meerkat and whatnot. And I think Voorhies, when he was in that Discord, whatever it was, I think it was the pro guilters or something, was saying, oh, in fact, he had seen those inappropriate photos of Angela as well. So, I mean, all of these people run together. They're incestuous. They're disgusting. Like, I don't even know, like, how to begin to describe some of the things that I know on people. There have been reverse image searches on other individuals, other females on this case, and they've come back from adult sites. There have been people that have, like, police reports should have been written on another individual who was also recently arrested last year. I want to say in the winter of 2025. So, hi, Hoosier. Yeah. Yeah. So there's plenty of like really weird movement that's happening on this case. And, I wonder why Amy is putting out Roblox in its full form. Running this have the power to shove all underneath under. Yeah, I'll find them. I'll put them in here. I'll put them in the description. So that's pretty much it. I mean, I think the reason that I got harassed so much was because I was the original person to put out Roblox, even though Prof and Voorhies told me not to. And I did get so caught up in getting harassed by Osbrook and Angela and basically, HCC and Peggy O and Jamie Hicks and Laura and all of those people. I got so caught up getting harassed by that then, like, I just totally forgot that there was the Roblox. So but basically, like, it's obvious that the Roblox is exploitation. I'm sorry, it is, because you're exploiting the trauma of what was done to two kids when you never needed to do that. So regardless of who made it, because I can't prove who made it, right? I can just show you the people that move very weirdly, right? I want to know why. I want to know why you make something like that. So, yeah. Yep. But, I just had to come and share. And Like, I don't know if you guys, what do you guys think? Should I post Roblox too for people to watch and just see, run that experiment? Should I do it? Because I'm kind of wondering, like, should it be done? Let's see who ends up getting harassment for it. You know, it might be, I mean, do I want to put my nervous system through that again? Not really, but it would be a useful experiment, right? So, you know, regardless of whoever turned me in, I don't think Peggy's this dumb as to misspell publicly. So whoever turned me in for the Roblox as it being CSAM, I think it was probably Jinx. Jinx is the only person between Laura, Jinx, and Peggy who's the dumbest, who couldn't spell publicly or look it up when you're writing a police report to put it in something. I think that would land on Jinx. So, I was supposed to leave this case alone, right? Yep, all of those ripples that continue today. Thank you, Lisa. Yeah, if you feel you are in danger, are still winning. Don't let them win. Yeah. Is Jamie Hicks still around? Yeah, yep. But again, like, you know, at least she's not buying subs this time. But I have tracked that other people have bought subs just to maintain, like, if you're willing to buy subs to me, that says that, like, the case is no longer really important to you. It's just, you know, it's something about yourself, right? It's something about, like, I feel so small and insecure and lacking that I need to, like, go out and show people that I matter and that these subscribers matter. Well, maybe you should have a better message. Maybe you should be a better person. I stand by what I said. I think you're an awful person. That person knows who I'm talking about too. So, yeah, good. Have it out with Jinx every fucking time, because I mean, she was the one that pretty ruthlessly attacked me with Tommy Frost and Peggy O in that Discord, which is you know, I'm not going to go into it, but it was a pretty traumatizing time. And then I had a friend fake their suicide a week later. So it was just a fun fucking time to be in this. And this is the true crime community. This is the true crime community. And whether it's convoluted and messy and fucked up because people's egos got in the way and they're just here for clout and they're just here to be right and prove themselves, okay, that's bad enough. But if it's worse because they have something to hide and they're covering for other people, which we found with Fig, I mean, he came back, right? He's back now. Mr. I'm going to help the prosecutor leak out information to sway the public against Rick Allen before his trial. Hi, Fig. Mr. Voorhies, oh, you're not getting sextorted while you're getting sextorted. Dumbass. Like, it's only partly organic, right? So this could be about clout. This could be how you get your bag and how you become, like, the big person talking about the case or whatever. Or you could be, like, you know, all the people that move badly and don't, like, they're not transparent with shit. Like, you could either be here for clout or you could be here because you're a really fucked up individual. Maybe you've done some fucked up shit and somebody has some fucked up shit over you. You know, maybe that's part of that. I don't know. I can't say. I don't know anything for sure. I'm just here to speculate, right? And yeah, backdoor deals, literally, right? Fig fairy, two different, yeah. So, kind of, but overall still immortal. Good job, Shay. That's awesome. Yeah, the watchers are always watched too. That's right. So, I don't know. I'm kind of sick of it, but this is just what you get for being in the landscape. But I wasn't going to go quietly. Seeing that Amy had released that, knowing that it was going to get like a lot of clicks, and that's good because people need to see it. But I'm really wondering, maybe I will release the Roblox that I have now too and see what happens. Because if I literally get the cops calling me again and Amy doesn't, that'll say a lot, won't it? Won't it? I mean, we're in different parts of the country, but what do you guys think? What do you think? Do you think we should run this test? Yeah. I'm wondering, what do you guys think in the chat? Should I run the test? Should I do it? Should we see like who's actually going to get the real harassment over it? The Roblox aren't different. No, they're the exact same. The exact same shape. So it'll just be interesting. It'll be interesting. Yeah, thanks, Dom. So maybe I'll do it. We'll see. We'll see how reckless I'm feeling. But yeah. And again, guys, like none of this is proven, right? None of this is proven. This is just my speculation, my theory on especially what people like the Lafayetters get up to, right? Because that's where HCC is, that's where Jinx is, that's where you know, some of those Purdue people are, et cetera, et cetera. So yeah, like a bunch of like any single thing you could probably be like, yeah, no, that's fine. We can wave that away. But once you put a bunch of this stuff together, it becomes like, interesting. And you guys still decide to move shadily around it. You don't try to come out and explain it. You just come after other people and call them psychotic and sociopathic and manipulative and evil. And then you send your minions after them. Right? Right? That's how that works. Because I remember when HCC had doxed me, I came out and did a community post and I called out all the other female creators on the platform saying, hey, is this okay? And guess what? None of them had the guts to come out and say, no, it's not okay, except for Criminality, who said, I don't appreciate my name being brought into this. And then I said, oh, okay, well, do you agree or disagree that doxing is bad? And then she's like, I've been doxed myself and blah, 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 blah. And I was like, do you agree or disagree that doxing is bad? And finally she had to say, I disagree. I don't think doxing is good. And I was like, thanks. I'm glad I had to pull that out of you. But nobody else, nobody fucking else, not even my friend Spooky Sokoke at the time, nobody else, no other female content creators. I even called out Amy from Case by Case to be like, hey, is this okay? Do you think this is cool what they're doing? And she's like, I don't get involved with this. This is all high school stuff. I don't get involved with this. Okay. All right. I'm just saying, like, you all, like, you get really hurt when other people, you know, call you mean names, and it's not good to get called mean names. It's bad. Like, I wouldn't call other people cunts, right? The way that other people have been calling other people cunts, like, I think that's shitty. But I'd rather be called a cunt than, like, get doxxed, though, or, like, have the police sent to my house, if I'm being honest. But regardless, nobody should be called that, right? But, like, but you won't stick up for other females when they get doxxed, you know? That's kind of the name of the game with Delphi. And you kind of know where people are or like what they're about when they don't have basic human decency. Because it kind of is like, well, if you don't have basic human decency, how are you advocating for a man who got railroaded and denied due process? How are you here for kids that got brutally murdered? If you can't, like, have some basic principles, some line in the sand that you draw, you know, what are you doing? But really, you want to be the authority on the case? Okay. All right. That's fine. But yeah, maybe I should do it. Maybe I should do it, guys. I think I'm going to do it. I think I'm going to put out the Roblox and see who ends up getting doxxed or have the police called on them again, or whatever the case is, being called a cunt or whatever. Let's see what ends up happening. Let's see how they try to villainize me this time. Whether it's whack pussy, or that I use my feminine wiles, or that I'm just a slut and a whore with a stupidity STI, or whatever the case is, that I'm enamored of a hacker, Osbrook, Adrian the idiot. Remember that? Because I have that. I should clip that too and put it out as a short. I mean, I can just literally throw everything you guys have ever said about me back in your face to show that you were never serious about this crime. You were only here for a narrative, your narrative, whatever that is, for whatever reason. You were only ever here to try to keep yourself looking good, right? And keep it on track. Oh, we have to look at it through the confines of what the prosecution provided. We have to look at through the confines of what the state has, because we don't really have anything else. No. Call for a blank slate. Grassroots that shit, dude. You need to blank slate it. You need to get people up in arms and fucking furious, and people need to demand a new investigation. This is bullshit. And the very best thing that can happen is for Rick Allen to get a new trial and for that to actually fucking happen. We'll see. I'm just fucking grateful that Lehman and Uliana are the people on his side, the people backing him. And I will never forget the lawyers who said that it would be great to do the Davis-Hatton procedure, the 0.2% success rate, or even PCR with all that urgency, right? And that same attorney who said, oh, I think I could do his civil lawsuit against Westville too. That was literally recorded too. I think Prof actually has that recorded. So, I mean, we have your words that can be used against you because you said them. We did not make any of this up. All the shit that you're going to try to smear me about with Dawn didn't really say that, and that's all in your imagination, and that blah, blah, blah. Okay, well, I have those receipts. I have her actually saying that she thought it was Richard Allen. And regardless of she's lying then or she's lying later or whenever that she's lying, it's still okay, it's worth investigating, especially if Dawn had the same profession as Kathy Shank. CPS, right? Look at all the women on the case that are CPS. Former CPS, right? And that doesn't mean anything bad. There are genuinely some good people in CPS, I'm sure, right? But when you engage in obfuscation and lies and defamation and harassment, who's the troll? Lawyer behind the curtain. Yeah, habeas pompous. Oz cluck. Cluckety cluck. Clucking away. I think he called me deplorable too. Whatever. I think you're deplorable, sir. Sir. If you're even that. You're not, because you're willing to have your minions go after people and barrage them and call them all sorts of heinous names. You've never been a good person. That's why you're not actually a lawyer on the case. Thank God, Kathy Allen. Thank fucking God for Kathy Allen, right? And I'm guessing that she didn't have to think about it too hard. With the way that you come off, your bedside manner is not exactly enjoyable or pleasant. You're not exactly a very empathetic, kind person, are you? No. So why would anybody want you to be around them and their husband that's gone through fucking hell, by the way? Absolute fucking hell. Yeah. But he is an idiot. He's an idiot too, because he really thought that he could just smooth talk his lawyer way into this. So many people did cover for him, though, too. So many people that seem smarter than that. But again, what is this? Clout? Is this clout that we're interested in? This is an ego thing that you get to be kind of like the big dog on the case. So, yeah. Oh, yeah. And that, guess what? It was a part of the case. It literally was. It's in documentation. It's in evidence, dude. The Dropbox was part of the case. Sorry. I mean, the Dropbox is adjacent to the case because Keegan Kline was literally talking with Libby before she died. End of discussion. There was a Dropbox that is proven connected to Keegan Kline. Just one. There should be a lot more, in my opinion, by the way. But, Voorhies was the one that got into that. And, I mean, like, his archive actually has evidence of him getting into it. So, and he handed it off all over to police, which then made a case against Keegan Kline. And Keegan Kline is in prison for the next 40 years because of it. So, I mean, I'm not saying that, like, everything is necessarily, like, all connected, but, like, there's a reality here, right? The reality is that Keegan Kline was literally talking to Libby before she was killed. And Keegan Kline had Dropboxes. A Dropbox that we know of. But he had more than likely had multiple Dropboxes, right? Because that's how they were getting out their sick, stupid shit around that time period. So, yeah. But I want no beef with anyone. I'm just telling the truth about people. That's all I'm doing. That's all I'm fucking doing. I'm telling the truth about people. If you guys want any of those receipts, you let me know. I'm happy to show them. I will redact them as much as I can, but, the night he appeared as himself. Interesting. Yeah, so you let me know. I'll post the Roblox if people want it. Yeah. Yep. And like, I think the contract is everything. It demonstrates that nobody wanted anything to do with you. Osbrook. No one wanted anything to do with you. That should say a lot. And I think Christina has pretty good evidence showing that Erica was really the person who did the motion to correct or whatever that was. It's in your own words of you literally saying, I didn't do much. I was just there to add the legalese. It's basically how I interpret it. So, all of you guys have been so terrible. So terrible. On so many different sides. And you engage in the same tactics. So, yeah. I'm happy to call out anyone whenever. I have nothing left to lose. Like, yeah, you can come after my dad if you want, but like it won't be pretty. So you can come after other people if you want, but it's just going to get worse for you. And it has been. But guess what? That's not because of me. That's not because of anybody in the community. That's because you did it to yourself. There were just people who were willing to ask questions on why you were doing that, why you were moving the way you were, why you were acting the way that you were. We were just there observing. All we had to do was show up. and you guys revealed yourselves. So, I mean that for so many of you, by the way, too. I'm not just talking about the people that gave me hell for a year. I'm also talking about people like Prof. Yeah, I think you're a bad person, too. So, that's really about all I have to say. I think that there are a lot of people that started off with good intentions who ended up just, taking the road that would benefit them the most. And at the end of the day, they don't really give a shit about the people in this case. They just want to be right so that, they don't end up looking like jackasses. But I think that's a little too late. I think pretty much everybody's shown themselves to be a jackass. So if we're not here for the fucking kids, if we're not here for somebody royally fucking screwed by a state, then what the fuck are we here for? Oh, is it just to get clicks because you've got the trauma, the trauma? I don't even want to call it that. Basically that's another reason why I kind of don't want to post the Roblox, because it's like if I do, then I'm like capitalizing off of trauma, getting clicks over trauma, right? That's why maybe I'll keep, I think I have it linked somewhere. Hi, Digital. Hi, Hard Candy. It is so good for my soul. Thank you, Hard Candy. You know it. So, yeah. Maybe I'll link it. I think I have it up on Vimeo, and I can link it so that you guys can go there and I won't get any views for it. Like it'll just be there, but then they could still, if they want to, they can still turn me in to the NCMEC. We'll see. I'm willing to bet that Amy gets no pushback, really. We'll see if Jinx goes after her and misspells publicly. Good. Yeah. You guys don't need to be degraded. Like, you should get to call out people like me too. When I get things wrong, or if I'm like being overly something or other, if you have a problem with me, you should get to voice it. That's why I'm here. And sometimes I'll get stuck in my ways, and I'll be like, ooh. But eventually, you know what? I'll be like, yeah, they were right. They were fucking right. Because guess what? That's being a well-rounded person. Everybody else has become a caricature on here. All these fucking stupid creators. All of you guys suck. You really do. I've been wanting to say that for a long fucking time. Thank you, Lisa. I try to. Yeah. Ugh, gross. Thanks, Critter. I try to. I get angry, though. I make mistakes. I have to repair. But that's part of being a human being. It's part of having human decency. Anyway. So, yeah. But yeah, if you guys want me to spill any more tea that I remember, they really do suck. They do. Thank you. Thank you. I know. They all suck. And like, I'll say this too. I don't think it was well done coming out on the 9th anniversary to say case solved. There's nothing that like a content creator can do to make that actually a thing. You need law enforcement for that. Okay. And like, I greatly still respect Erica and Christine for the work that they have done, for the shit that they have endured, and still being like an ally to Kathy and Rick Allen. I will say, though, that they would do more for the case if they weren't on YouTube talking about it, or if they waited long enough that certain things were allowed to, happen before they go back onto YouTube to talk about it, right? So that probably cost me my wrench. Erica wasn't really talking to me anymore anyway. Just very, you know, austere, very cold. That's fine. You know, I was grateful to her for defending me against Peggy and the harassment, all those harassment videos that she did. She was doing, you know, in part for me too, which I really appreciated. So thank God. Thank God I've had people. Thank God I've had you guys. I'm so grateful. I'm so fucking grateful. And yeah, I am a little verklempt in the beginning of this video. I apologize. It was a very like it was very surreal seeing, you know, the thing that I got harassed for almost a year over, getting put out like it was nothing. And knowing that a lot of the people that are close with Case by Case are the same people that were harassing me. So we'll see. I'm probably going to be another like new slut or whore or bitch or panty dropper or manipulative, sociopathic, stalker, harasser, evil. I'm trying to remember all the adjectives I was called, but I'm sure that's coming again. And that's fine, you know, because I really don't think that. Yeah. Oh, okay. They are. Randy is. Big Randy. Oh, and funnily enough, like, the whole reason that Peggy got her channel back, by the way, guys, was because I didn't follow through with the copyright strike. Since she did an 8-minute video on me, clipping me out of context, saying I was doxing people like Randy Gravitz when the whole community knows his full name, as well as some other people. And she made it, she like blurred out my mouth and like was like doxing, saying I was doxing right then and there. Like, she has been one of my primary tormentors who's lied the most about me. So, I mean, I really. And it's interesting because, like, I've heard other people say his name and her not call them out for doxing. Like, it was funny, like, in the Discord bashing that happened to me, Jinx was willing to call MRC full of shit, but both Frosty and Peggy, who were really close to him at the time, weren't mad at Jinx. You see how these people move? It's very hypocritical. Or like that Mar was the one calling Peggy Walla for the longest time, and like Peggy was never talking about suing Mar. So no, I can still get in. Last night. Oh. Thank you. Thank you. Frosty. Yeah. So a lot of these people, like, I genuinely, I cannot say why they are here or why they do the things that they do. That's why I'm not going to, because they can get me caught up on it and be like, oh, you're just a whatever and whatever. But what they're doing is still harmful, and it's always been harmful, and it's not going to get less harmful, right? Honor scams. Oh, wow. Thanks, Deb. I can always get mad. There's always some room in there from some red hot anger. Luckily, it burns off pretty quickly, and then I'm tired. So, you know, as long as it's productive anger, then it's good, right? Now, did I say some things that were a little like over the top? Yeah. Will there be some pushback for it? Yeah. I mean, I wasn't perfectly diplomatic. That's why, like, going live is not something that is probably good to do for me. But, you know, it was just triggering, man. It was triggering. And, oh, and by the way, with Dee Dee, Prof was the one that Dee Dee, when Noe first got out of jail, Dee Dee was the one who was like, oh, don't tell Prof everything, or don't say everything on the live that Prof did with him. And Prof called me raging out and was like, oh, Dee Dee's another one of those girls that is just I wonder if she was put on the case to hover over Reese in the same way that these other girls have been hovering over other people. That's what he said about her, too. So they can be besties if they want, but I think I actually do have like those screenshots. I can go digging for them and find him calling her every name in the book, too. Because he didn't get his way because she told Noe not to say some certain things once Noe got out. And it was all about those clicks for Prof. That was what he was only about. So, you know. Oh, thank you, Hard Candy. That's really sweet. You guys are really sweet. Thank you. So, yep, I'm not surprised either. I'm not surprised if he called me every name in the book behind the scenes. That's why I was like, dude, you can't be calling even people like, you can't call Angela that, even if Angela's going to turn around and call me that. Like, you can't call people that kind of shit. If you want respect, you got to treat people with respect, man. But that doesn't apply to him because he's like, yeah, he's been so victimized. Well, guess what? I've been pretty fucking victimized. And I still would have. Thank you, Hard Candy. Everyone is fucking two-faced, right? But yeah. But anyway, I was like coming in from working in the garden. I had to get working on work, and then I saw, hi Dieter, I love you, Dieter. And I love Dieter too. Please subscribe to Dieter, guys, by the way, because she makes the best logical arguments on like why so much of the stuff that all the bullshit is a giant waste of time. It is. It's a giant waste of time. So I don't even know how long I'm only okay. Well, but I love you. I love you too. I love Lisa. I love a lot of you people. You guys have kept me alive, really. In some of the darkest times. So I'd rather get mad than get sad. So let's all get mad together. Let's demand better for the community, right? The community. Or just like our community. Let's just be in our own community. And like, you know what? If people are going to give you grief for watching me because I called out somebody, just be like, I just watch everybody, you know? It shouldn't fucking matter. If somebody's coming out and telling the truth about something, then just do it. You know? Like, I wish I remembered more of the shit that Prophet told me because I would just say it. Would just fucking say it. Like, I have no loyalties left. I love you guys too. Thank you. It's a new day. You guys have always been so good to me. Artists too. Hard Candy, like, pertinent. You've been good to me too. No, love you guys too. Hi, Rebby. Thanks, guys. I don't know why I'm so verklempt. I think I've been trying to keep it in, you know, like. At least my werewolf genes are kicking in. My hair is coming back with a vengeance. I will once again be the hairy person that I am inherently. So, yeah. You guys are a good community. You're really good. You really do care about people. That's what should have fucking mattered this whole time. You know, not the content that somebody could create. I don't know if we're ever going to know what happened to those kids. But I know that they didn't get justice. I know that a whole bunch of people didn't get justice. There's a whole bunch of people who are gone or who died horrifically. And they never needed to, you know? It's okay. I'll get over it, guys. I really will. Oh, thanks, guys. So, but it's really shown me that it's people really don't give a shit about kids. You know, you guys do, but like, I don't know. It should have mattered more. It should have mattered more. They should have mattered more. And I'm not just talking about the fact that they're gone, like their lives leading up to it. What were their lives like? What are a lot of kids' lives like? Especially if there are people waiting around to prey on them. If their only escape is going online and watching or playing a video game, like, what is life then? You know? Everybody's getting more and more afraid of each other. They're more and more isolated. Eventually, you gotta get off the platform and try to make friends. But if you're a kid, where do you do that? Where do you do that if you don't have the resources, if you don't have, you know, if you don't have parents that care? I'm not saying that their parents didn't care, but like, where do you go? How do you get access to a better life if you're a kid? I don't know. So, yeah, do not waste your life force on those only wanting to make money off this tragedy. That's fair. Oh, don't cry. Yeah, you guys, everybody's good. I'm sorry. Just really fucking frustrated. So, and I really don't know if I should post the Roblox. I need to see if it's on my Vimeo. I think I still have my Vimeo up. That's how I was making videos before. I should cancel it though. Thanks, guys. Thank you. But yeah, I bet I get turned in again. I do. I really do. But that so many people are like hyper focused on this aspect of the case too tells me that there are so many people that exploit that. So if you have kids, if you have grandkids, hug them, keep them close. Try to get them involved in things that aren't online. Watch them like a hawk if you have to. Yeah, I will. I'll feel better. I have no idea where Loopy went either, so I wonder if he escaped. I don't know though. I mean, like, usually he's pretty loud. Yeah, think about it either way on the video. Okay, I will. I don't know. Yeah. But I do think Prof did a good article that's non-biased on the Roblox. I think it's a very good article. If it's still up and accessible, I do think that that would be a good reading companion. And I'll see if it is still up and I'll post it. Because that's another thing too. Like, just because Prof was a shitty ass friend doesn't mean that like he doesn't do good work sometimes too, you know, even if it's other people's work, which is not necessarily my story to tell, but you know who you are and you deserve credit because there was a lot of research and time and energy that went into that shit. So, but you know, educational videos warning young people of the traps of social media. Yes. 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 It's happening. It's happening all the time now. And it's like, what are they coming in contact with that they are literally like like ending up on police radar at such a young age. I think so many, like, just having had access to the dating scene for a little bit, because like I fucking hate online dating. I can only do it like so long and then I rage quit. But so many men that I've talked to, especially like the younger they are on the younger spectrum, they are like warped, or they've seen people who are really warped. And it's like, what is out there that is literally like so warping? Like it's so, they get so desensitized and stuff. And like, I'm kind of following the David case, and I probably shouldn't because it really upsets me, but he found online gore at a really young age, and that he was making, you know, he had like an alter ego, and he was making music videos where he was like imagining horrific violence against people. And like, it's just, I don't know. Thank you guys. Not Tinder. They must. No faces, sad the pics. Okay. Yeah, just let them know they're not going to be in trouble, that you still love them. I know you're a good dad, hard candy. Like, I know you would be very, but some of these kids, they just get so scared, and their brains, like, I still feel it now. I feel like I've been rewired to like have this urgency on me all the time of like, oh, I got to respond right now. It's because like you get in this such a self-defense mode of like, oh my gosh, I have to fix it right now, otherwise I won't be able to. And you know, that's when it gets you in trouble, and your brain can hijack you. You know, you really, I'm almost 40 years old, guys, and my brain is still acting that way. What do you think like a 15-year-old kid's gonna do? You know? So, I need to share an event that happened with your daughter, what they are coming into contact with. Oh my God, only if you feel comfortable. I've had other people in the community that have had kids that have, I don't know how kids are doing it these days, guys. I really don't. Like, especially like trying to act like it doesn't bother you, so that at a point it doesn't bother you. Like, I don't know. So goes back to parents not teaching kids about, yep. Yeah. Yep. Yeah. The David case is really, really hard though. That's a wonderful hard candy. That's what needs to happen. And yeah, Dieter, you called it. Like, yeah, it's huge. It's huge. Slow it down, right? That's why I came on here crying. Because it was like, oh, I'm so verklempt. I don't even know where I stand. You know, like I don't even know what I want to say. They use kids to lure kids. That's very true. Self-luring others. Yep. And they don't know any better. Once you become warped, you don't know any better. Like, I remember when Brad Blankenship was on, his dad was, I don't even know, but his dad was making him and his sister do stuff with each other, and he was grooming Brad at a young age by showing him gore online first. You know, that was the stepping stone. And I noticed that so many people on this case, like HCC, like Curious Contrarian, like Paradox, like a lot of those guys enjoyed talking about porn and gore porn, I guess. Like, well, I don't know if it was gore porn, but gore in general. They like talking about it so much, and it's just like, I guess if you're on the internet long enough, then it's like a common thing. But oh my gosh. So yeah, it's good to stay to yourself. Just because you're in here doesn't mean you endorse me or my message. So I hope that it doesn't come back to you as people like coming down on you. Like I saw somebody just saying something about, like, they had watched a Case by Case live and saying, oh, Case by Case was talking about this. And I saw another person come in to that comment section and being like, oh, you can't trust them. They're watching Case by Case and like all this kind of stuff. And it's like, dude, like, what is this, a loyalty test? You know? In your message. Thank you. But the online profiles, challenges, he destroyed his phone. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. That would haunt me too. That would haunt me too. But, you know, a lot of people, we don't know these things until you know them, right? If I had known so many things before something terrible happened to me, like, I would have changed route, right? Like, it's just that, yeah. Yeah, that could be what those initials stand for. And I'm really sorry. It's a new day. Because these kids all deserve to be alive, you know? So somebody's got to be the adult in the room. Like, oh my gosh. Thank you, Rachel. You guys don't have to do that. That's the first time anybody's ever done that. That's so crazy. Thank you. Oh my gosh. That's why this case is very important to you. That's wonderful. It's a new day. Thank you. Thank you, Angel Eyes. And you know, like, sometimes you don't know when you do know, because we don't think it'll happen to us. That's very well said, Shay. That's very well said. It's okay, Nancy. Oh, yeah. It's very well said. So, there's just got to be more we can do about it, you know? And having the intelligence, having the knowledge about it will do a lot, will do wonders, I think. Because, like, I tried to explain to my own parents, they're both like, you know, they're both boomers. But I was like, you know, kids are encountering this kind of stuff and they just couldn't understand. And I was like, it's just a different way of existing. Like, imagine wanting to fit in so bad that you're willing to take, like, explicit photos of yourself and share them with your friends, you know? That's a thing now that kids have to deal with, you know? And now with AI, like, you have to worry about people photoshopping stuff, or I don't even know if photoshopping is the right word, but like having AI generations of you, like, that's there were several Peggy O shorts of her using AI to replicate me, and like do some weird shit. Like she altered my facial forms to make me look fat sometimes and certain things. Like it's just people can do so much with so many different things. So it's scary. It's really scary. Like if somebody is unhinged and willing to come after you, there are so many tools now available for people to do that with. So especially before young kids, you know, before they even have the ability to like learn about these things, I think they almost should just be kept off of the internet. But that's so impossible to do. I don't know how you do that. I don't know how you do that. So she's not running anything. She's cleansing and rebooting. Oh, because the powers that be told Amy to release it, in my opinion. Okay. Yeah, it's finally okay for Amy to do it, but yeah, it's not okay for the rest of us, I guess, to tell the truth. Everything in their own time, right? Yeah. But again, like, I don't think this is like a reason to like go and harass Amy or anything from case by case. I'm just saying that like I hope she doesn't get harassed for this. But again, I really would. I don't know. I think Jinx would be willing to. I think Jinx, if she wasn't the one that sent the shit to my house and then tipped me into NCMEC, then maybe it was Haley, one of the sextortionists of Alex. But you only watch case by case when you need a good luck. Well, I don't really watch any of them. I just can't. I only have so much Delphi bandwidth per day now, which is the way that I stay sane. And I usually reserve that for friends. So I want to see what the people I like are saying about it. Most parents don't even know they're already lost. I've long wondered that. It does kind of make my day, though. I mean, like, that is kind of... can't stand. Jinx would probably go out of her way to try to do it anyway. But Stinks is a great name for her. It's the least I could do since she would call me dark farts. It was like, oh, okay, so that's gonna drive me off. I had a younger brother, guys. Like, I know how this shit works. I know how anybody can, I understand 12-year-old boy humor very well because I've, I grew up with one at one point. So why won't it let me show all the messages? There we go. Yeah. Misspelled. Let me see. Yeah. But yeah, I do. What does Lisa say? Let me see. Grandson's addicted to gaming. Oh. That's good, Deb. That's good. That's really good. Dude, it was crazy because one time I was outside just chillaxing in the catio. And it was late at night, and I heard like the screaming, and I heard like I went to my back. So if I'm in my backyard, there's the catio, and then there's like more of the backyard, and I had to go to like the edge of the wall because we have walls here, And I heard this kid screaming, "Oh my God, help me, help me. He's going to kill me. He's going to kill me," and stuff. And I was like, oh my fucking God. So I called 911 and I was like, I don't know. I can't tell which direction it's coming from, but they could see where my location was. And they're like, so you're in your backyard. So do you think it's coming to the left or right? And I was like, I think it's to the left. I don't know. So they rushed over there, got over there, and they came in but they did call me back. And they're like, so it turns out it was just a kid playing an online shooter game. And I was like, oh, okay. Oops. But I was like, this kid is getting killed. But the cops were really sweet about it. And they were really funny because they were like, oh, we're glad you did that though. We're glad you still called. And then they like went and knocked on the neighbors next door. And they're like, did you happen to hear kids screaming like bloody murder? And the neighbors are like, oh yeah, but that's just how they are. And I was like, okay, so the neighbors understand that this is like they're playing the online shooter game or whatever, but I had no idea. So it's like, oh my God, this is like the scariest shit that's ever happened to me. But no, they were just playing their online shooter games. So it's like, dude, if you're a kid, like, and you're like that scared and like screaming that loudly, I'm like, is this even a worthwhile game to be playing? I don't know. But boys are different. I was very scared. So yeah. So better safe than sorry, right? But I'm also the kind of person that's like, is that fireworks or is that a gunshot? But it's like, you live in a safe enough part of town, dude. You're fine. So yeah. Oh, I had so many questions I needed to ask artist and It's a New Day too, guys. Because I loved your recent talk that you put out was really good. And that's more of the discussion kind of stuff that I like hearing. Because it's like we're just shooting the shit. We're just playing around with ideas here, And then yeah, when I hear fireworks, I'm like, oh my God. Like, but it's usually there are a lot of Latinos in the area, so it's like during birthdays they get to shoot off fireworks. So yeah, highly organized PR campaigns. It feels that way for sure. It's like, why are you guys so bent on this one message? Like, why is this so mandatory? And then why do you come after people who question it? Why do you come after us so hard? Why do you have to like, instead of like you could just address the question. Like, you could be like, oh, well, because this, and this. But no, it's just automatic. Like, you're a terrible, manipulative, sociopathic slut. It's like, okay, sure. Wow. Okay. But yeah, if I remember any details that I need to spill, I wish I had a better memory, guys. Because there's so much shit now. But your hair is pretty, so oh, thank you. I had it into braids and I was like, oh, I can't look like a farmer kid. Got to take these braids out. So it ended up looking okay. But yeah, I do probably need to take a shower now. But I just rushed in because I was like, oh, fuck. My first reaction was like, everybody's going to get harassed. Like, everybody's going to she got to take it down because everybody's going to get harassed. And then I was like, no, it's case by case. She's probably going to be fine, but there was like a real panic. I was like, oh my God, because they're putting it out. For some reason, like my brain was like, oh my God, they're putting it back out. So this is going to give them another opportunity to attack me again, which is like, trolls always let us know we are on the right path. That's very true. Yeah. So I'm kind of like, okay, well, keep doing it then, like keep letting us know. But I wish they would just go away, man. I can't believe some people are coming back. Like, I saw that Fig's coming back, and it's just like, dude, haven't you done enough to ruin your own reputation? Like, who was catfished and then blackmailed. It wasn't until her daughter tried to take her own life that the catfishing was, that's terrible. But if she lived, that's good. You know, because some of those kids, like the Jordan DeMay and Ryan Last that I talked about in the last live, like, oh, hi, Quad. That was really sad, you know. So, yeah. I guess I should go make dinner. Sorry, guys. That was, like, very chaotic and all over the place, and I'm sure I'm gonna get it. But you know what? I'm keeping this up. Because I'm lazy, and I don't... Like, more people need to hear it than not, and, like, I'm not gonna edit it, because I'm lazy. And I told the truth about everything, too. Like, I do have police records on people, like, police reports that I've had to file and stuff. Like, some of you have seen them. I've sent them to some of you, and, like, you know, I have all the receipts of stuff, so, like, the screenshots and stuff. And thank you, Angel Eyes. Thank you again for the membership. I totally forgot I had memberships. That was just so crazy. I was like, what? But no, yeah, no, I did the membership stuff. Oh, thank you, guys. Yeah, please hit the like. Please subscribe if you want to. Yeah, I'm sorry that was like a roundabout story of like the Roblox, but it took me a while to like get recentered on like how do I start this? Where do I even start? And yeah, like it's interesting that Peggy was really close with HCC and MRC. So that was another sign of a uniparty. I think that's another reason why I got attacked so hard, because they're just like, but they were leaving tracks. Like, it's like, I can see you guys leaving tracks. Like, it doesn't, I'm not just like a complete dum-dum over here. Like, I know I'm just an artist who makes Odinist doodles according to HCC and Osbrook and Keefe. But you know, and they'll try to say that I'm like a white supremacist. Like, my sister-in-law is black. I have a mixed nephew. Like, shut the fuck up already. Just shut the fuck up. Yeah. Oh, yeah. My email is enlightenthedark@gmail.com. Yeah. So, yeah. Hope you get finished soon. Yeah. Okay. Oh, okay. Okay, cool. Thank you, guys. Thank you. But thank you for listening to me. I'm sorry if I caused more chaos. I never mean to start chaos, but it just... I don't have a filter. That's why I'm glad that, like, if you do have sensitive information, please don't tell me. Like, I don't need to know it, honestly. Yeah. So, but yeah, like, I'm glad you guys know that I'm not like all the things that they say I am or will say that I am. Because, yeah, I'm not a white supremacist. And, like, even though, like, what did HCC say? He was like, oh, I hope you save enough money from your Odinist doodles so that you can buy yourself a set of knee pads for when you have to suck dick or something like that. He didn't say the suck dick part, but it was implied. So, you don't need a filter, unlike some. Sometimes I do. I have a foul mouth. I have a very foul mouth, and I can get medieval when I'm angry. I'm like, oh, I'm just imagining you in the Game of Thrones setting, and then, you know, But generally, I'm a very chill person sometimes. Truth would need a second look. Yeah, asking for a friend. Does anyone know why the truth would need a second look? You're asking for a friend. Yeah, I don't know. Why does the truth need a second look? Okay, let me post it. I wish I was better at typing too, so I could be cool like other people in the community. Isn't that what you're already doing? According to them, doing what? I don't know. Yeah, that's true, Emerald. That's how they turn it back on me. That's true. That's very true. Yep. I'm like, wait, let me think about this. Yeah, no, they say that I'm lying about them and this is all conspiracy. No, it's not. It's not. Like, I would not try to create enemies for no reason, guys. And look, I told some inconvenient truths about, people that I was very close with, like Prof. So I'm an equal opportunity spiller of the tea. So yes. All right, guys. So I should let you all go. Thank you for listening to me. I again, I hope this helped with some things. I don't know if it helped. We'll see. We shall see. Now comes the reckoning, right? So the whole you'll need knee pads. Oh yeah. Dude. And he's Angela's like number 2, so it's like, girl, come on. I know where this is coming from. And then they're calling me cunt, so it's fine. It's what it is, But I know where that is coming from, the general direction. So, and it's like, dude, you did such a disservice. Like HCC, I'd be like, you're fired, dude. You're fired. Don't ever work for me again. If I were Angela, that's what I would be like. Dude, you've caused more harm than good. So, yeah. But anyway, I'm fine with them continuing to fuck up because it actually like will bring out more of the truth. That's how we've gotten this far, actually. Uniparty was just because people were being nasty to other people. That's really how that got figured out. So, but yeah, I better get dinner. And get back to work. But I really appreciate you guys so much. Thank you. I'm not going to cry again, I promise. I'm going to keep my shit together, but I love you guys. And I hope to talk to you soon. This was just a very random thing. I still have some work to get through. So it might not be for like another week or so, but I love you guys. So HCC is the biggest beta. Yeah. But it's cool. It's what it is. Honestly, like they haven't gotten me to off myself yet, so they're gonna have to do something pretty extreme if they want that to happen, or send someone for me. But that's anyway, everything's fine. We're good. Everything's fine. I love you guys. Have a good night.